So we've just had a brand new Call of Duty be announced in the form of Modern Warfare 2. We've seen the return of Ghost, Soap, etc. But surely some of us have got to be thinking, what are Infinity Ward's goals here for not only the Modern Warfare reboots, but afterwards, when it's all said and done once more. Sorry for looking down. So I've got like a whole script written here. This is a big topic that is going to be definitely important very soon, because now that Modern Warfare 2 is coming out, they'll be starting to do write-ups for Modern Warfare 3. But first, let's provide a little bit of a backstory. Let's go back to the last time Infinity Ward had finished with Modern Warfare. 2013. Treyarch had recently picked up some pretty good stripes for World at War, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2, shaping up to be quite the competitor for Infinity Ward, not to mention the added pressure of coming up with a brand new idea for the next generation of consoles. Infinity Ward came out with Call of Duty Ghosts, which was hated on big time. And despite Ghosts to this day being one of the best-selling games in the franchise, it was seen as a failure to most. Fast forward a couple of years and Treyarch have dropped another incredible game in the form of Black Ops 3. And despite what you may think of that game's campaign, personally it's my favourite and I will be making a video on it soon, it excelled in multiplayer, zombies, and even had time to add more modes in the form of Free Run, Dead Ops Arcade 2, and Nightmares. Now you may be thinking, what is the point I'm trying to make here? Why am I talking about all this? Well, first of all, let's take a look at Infinite Warfare. The campaign, top class. But Infinity Ward's problems weren't storytelling. They'd learnt from Ghosts, and instead of making a game made for sequel bait, they told a fully complete story that to this day is one of the best in the franchise. Their issue was their lack of identity. They'd lost it. Quite frankly, the multiplayer for Infinite Warfare exemplifies this. I personally have not played that game just yet, although I did buy it recently. But I can clearly see through clips that I've seen that the game doesn't know whether it wants to be its own thing, a bog-standard shooter, or just a straight-up Black Ops 3 bootleg. Basically, Infinite Warfare as a game had an identity crisis. Ghosts had an identity crisis. It was clear they really wanted to make Modern Warfare 4, but they needed to make a new idea too. They really tried their best with Ghosts, and it failed. As much as I love that game, it's my third favourite COD, I just have to agree with everyone else in that aspect. It failed. So to finalise that whole tangent, despite whatever positive changes they make to the multiplayer, who's to say Infinity Ward won't have another identity crisis when they move on from the Modern Warfare reboots? This video is about the establishment of a link between the Modern Warfare reboots and a potential Ghosts reboot. That is just an idea. They can do whatever they want, but this is my idea, and I'm going to put it across because I feel like it's a very valid idea, and it's an idea that would satisfy not only COD and Modern Warfare fans, but also those few Ghosts fans who wanted to see a sequel to that cliffhanger, a sequel to that campaign. I want to see it, you know? But obviously, Ghost 2 shouldn't happen. The original Ghosts had too many problems, so a reboot is our best route, because there are genuinely good concepts here. There are characters from Ghost that I feel like that could definitely work if given the proper time. And I will not tolerate any unnecessary hate for Ghosts, as there is genuinely incredible potential from the concepts presented in that game, just begging to be expanded upon in the right way. In terms of multiplayer, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. It doesn't matter as of right now. What's important for a game's identity, what is important is the identity of Infinity Ward after Modern Warfare. They can't just make Modern Warfare games forever, you know? Modern Warfare doesn't have nearly the amount of potential that a Black Ops does. You know, with Black Ops, you can set a game 100 years after the first game. They did it with Black Ops 3. You can do it and it would work. They can make an aesthetic out of it. They can make a whole new Cold War. That's what they did with Black Ops 3. It's in the universe, which is in the middle of another Cold War. You can't do that with Modern Warfare. You can't go 100 years into the future with that. So Infinity Ward need a new IP, need a way to bridge from Modern Warfare, pivot from that into their next project. And I feel like a Ghosts reboot is a good idea, or at least, yeah, it's a good idea. It's an idea, and it's a stable idea too, because it's a set idea, you know? They don't have to do what they did with Infinite Warfare and just completely start over from scratch in terms of making a games universe, you know? And I feel like, yeah, what's important in that identity is the aesthetic, its story. So I'm here making that establishment kind of for them, really. Like, if you don't take this idea, you better fucking damn sure make a good idea, because their next game after Modern Warfare will be what? 2026? When they're finished with Modern Warfare? That's not that long, you know? So I feel like they need to bring everything together kind of MCU style. We don't want games like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, and Ghosts, where the original Ghosts, where they are completely unrelated to other games. I mean, at least Black Ops 3 had references where it was clearly within the same universe as the original Black Ops games, and it seems that Treyarch have already planted the seeds for this, as Imran Zakhaev, the villain of the original Modern Warfare, appears in Black Ops Cold War. To cut a long story short, we need more reboots, and Ghosts would be the perfect start to branch off of Modern Warfare, in my opinion. So, first things first, let's take a look at the origins of the Ghosts.
It was a different time, a different enemy. 60 men from Tier 1 teams were sent to face down a force of 500 enemy fighters. Their objective? To force the enemy back from a civilian hospital and keep its occupants alive. For 3 days they held their ground, but the enemy's numbers were too great. The 60 were cut down to 15. They wouldn't last another night, and the enemy knew it. Under the cover of darkness, they evacuated the hospital, sending only one of their own to lead the way. The rest returned to the line and took up positions beneath the bodies of their fallen brothers. As they lay in wait, the blood from the dead poured over them. The sand stuck to their skin like a shroud, changing them, anointing them. When the enemy drew near, the remaining 14 rose out of the desert sand. They were like hunters that couldn't be seen, using stealth their enemies couldn't defend against. When the men ran dry of ammunition, they used their blades. And when the blades ran dull, they used their hands. When the dust and sand had settled, only one of the enemy had survived. He was picked up in the desert, wandering aimlessly, traumatized. He expressed warnings to others of a force so menacing and unbeatable, it could only be described as supernatural. He called them ghosts.
Now, immediately, Ghosts had a problem. A problem that's quite common within the Call of Duty franchise. Instead of being told about this origin story, why couldn't we have experienced it for ourselves? Well, within the story of Modern Warfare 3, they can plant the seeds for their next game with a level based on this. And maybe, for those who played the original, make us Ghost fans feel weird by making us play as Raw. Wouldn't that be bonkers? Anyway, back on track. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me explain. Makarov, Federation. Make Makarov the leader of the Federation and have him, throughout the game, slowly build up the power to attack America and start World War III. Have Modern Warfare 3 be the start of World War III, showing how Makarov would gain this power. Now you can have Russia be the one to take over the world as the Federation, or take notes from the original and unite South America under one banner as they move to the north, yada yada yada. Either way, have their leader be Makarov. Have the whole poisonous brainwashing gimmick implied in the original and run with it from there. So like, maybe that's how he turns American soldiers against each other. Like he grabs them, he takes them to the Amazon like Rourke does with Logan at the end of the original Ghost game, like the Federation did with Rourke in the original, etc, etc. And that can happen again, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Either way, it should all come to a head with the birth of the ghosts towards the end of the game. You can have the focus on Task Force 141 all the way up until the end of the game and do this, for example. We can play that cutscene, put us in the exact opposite of your traditional Modern Warfare gameplay, and take away that power fantasy element. Have us take a beating, have us be outnumbered, and have us watch our brothers taken out. Hell, if you want to have balls, maybe kill a main character off like that. Like Ghost, if you haven't killed him off in 2, or even Price. Like, that would be some big fucking balls. Regardless, either way it doesn't matter, but regardless, you heard in the cutscene, a lone person was assigned to lead an evacuation from the hospital. Change that from one person to a team. Task Force 141. Have Task Force 141, have that be the team to evacuate the hospital, and have that be its own mission. And maybe here and there you could have a scene where you, as Soap for example, look out the window and see the other team, which is Rourke, etc., take position besides the fallen bodies and lie in wait for the Federation to attack the hospital again. Then we play as Rourke. We see Ajax, we see Merrick, we see Keegan, we see Elias Walker all next to him, and we go prone besides the fallen. This is where the game sends the sand and blood we're on into the camera, changing us, anointing us. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? The objective is to exhaust all of our weaponry, all of our rifle ammo, all our pistol ammo. It makes us switch to blades when they run out and take out as many people as possible. We see our knife begin to dull, so we start using our hands, and it becomes this long, slow, excruciating battle, kind of reminiscent of Ellie and Abby's final battle from The Last of Us Part 2. Make it as gritty and gross and horrible and slow, and really show the themes of desperation within war when you have nothing left except your objective, to kill. As we go through this level, this battle, there is no music. Only the sounds of dying individuals, bullets, stabbings, the screams of the Federation soldiers, the occasional motivation from Rourke to the others. I want you to close your eyes and imagine this next part. Eventually, when there's nobody else, Rourke crumbles down to the ground from exhaustion along with the other soon-to-be-known as ghosts. The screen begins to fade to black as the piano keys from the original game's reveal trailer play. We see one lone Federation soldier limping away, whimpering and whispering to himself, traumatized. The screen cuts to black. As the credits roll, we hear radio chatter about that single Federation soldier being picked up, ranting and mumbling to himself, and when interrogated,
He expressed warnings to others of a force so menacing and unbeatable, it could only be described as supernatural. He called them ghosts.
and there you have it. As you could probably tell by the lack of light, should I say, in this room, I have been working on this video all day, essentially. Doing the necessary research that I needed to do on Modern Warfare 2 and Ghosts. Obviously coming up with the ideas that I had and jotting them down on the script that I had, and yeah, man, it's nice to see it all come together. I don't really do videos like this often, especially if they're non-Need for Speed related, but yeah, I've gotten into Call of Duty recently. So if any of you are new to the channel, yeah, when I was younger, I'd only ever played one Call of Duty game, and that was Black Ops. It was Black Ops 1. That was the only one I ever played. And I also played the Infinite Warfare demo. Now, this year, I discovered a YouTuber called The Act Man, and I started watching a lot more videos on him. I hope his channel gets monetized again, by the way. Yes, I know about that situation. Honestly, YouTube's just becoming a much darker place, and honestly, pretty soon I'm gonna start developing plans to just shift elsewhere, probably go to Twitch. But anyway, either way, I obviously started watching the Axeman and got really interested in Call of Duty again. Well, yeah, I got a little bit interested in it, and I started playing Black Ops 4. And that was the game that got me back into the franchise. I loved playing that game's multiplayer. I had a lot of fun on it. But then I wanted to experience Call of Duty for the campaigns, and Ghosts was my first one. It was this year in March, early March, and during that Ghost playthrough, I was really enjoying like the build up to a lot of the firefights, and I was told that COD 4 did a lot of that, so the original Modern Warfare. And obviously since then I've gone through. So I played Modern Warfare. I played Modern Warfare 2 after that. Then I played Advanced Warfare. And recently I played Black Ops 3, which has become my favourite Call of Duty and one of my favourite games ever. I love Black Ops 3's campaign so much. The multiplayer is a lot like Black Ops 4, which makes Black Ops 4 look worse in comparison. But yeah, I love Black Ops 3. I'm going to have a video on Black Ops 3 and that game's campaign, an explanation of it, at least in my view of that campaign anyway, very soon. That's the next video I'm going to work on. I was going to work on that first over this one, but I thought since Modern Warfare 2 just got announced, it would be better to work on this one right now. So yeah, I do live streams on Ghosts sometimes. More regularly than you'd think, to be fair. I did a live stream on Ghosts last night. Well, I don't know when I'm uploading this. We'll have to see. Right now it's 10:42. I have to like upload it first, then it's got to render at 1080p for you guys, and yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be able to put this one out, but I will put it out as early as possible. But yeah, either way, my last live stream was on Ghosts. I still really enjoyed playing Ghosts. Hopefully I get some new viewers on the channel through this video. Hopefully Infinity Ward view this, you know, and maybe start making plans that are either completely ripping this off, which I really wouldn't mind. You can do it. It's my idea, but it's your game, and yeah, do what you want. Or at least get inspiration from it to start making plans for branching off of Modern Warfare. Because personally, I'm not too interested in Modern Warfare. You may have noticed that I didn't say I played Modern Warfare 2019 yet. I am going through the games in order. I'm going through Infinite Warfare next. Then I'm going to play Black Ops Cold War. I view Modern Warfare in the same way I view World War II games. It's like, I've been there, done that. You know, I played those type of games. And I played through Modern Warfare 1 and 2. I really enjoyed the characters. Like, I liked Ghost. But I feel like he was all outfit, if I'm going to be honest. He didn't really stand out to me other than how he looked. So hopefully there's more of a character to him in Modern Warfare 2. Price is great, etc. The characters are great. I think Zakhaev was a bit of a weak villain in the first Modern Warfare, so hopefully in this game that gets sorted out too. But yeah, essentially, I just like Modern Warfare for the characters. When I played Modern Warfare 1 and 2, I hated how those games were structured. They had like a dual narrative, and I know Ghosts had that as well, but Ghosts just had the one mission here and there. Whereas Modern Warfare 1 and 2, and presumably 3 as well, I haven't played that. It has like 1 minute you're playing as Roach, for example, in the second game, and then you're playing as the Rangers in the other, or you're playing as the Rangers or Soap in Modern Warfare 1. Like, I'd rather stick with Task Force 141. Kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with Modern Warfare, but the newer game, 2019, probably doesn't do that, so I might try that game at some point. No, I will. I will get round to it. It's just, I'm more of a Black Ops guy, if I'm going to be honest. I love the whole Cold War aesthetic. Mate, Black Ops 3, I loved everything they experimented with in that game. Ghosts, I love the whole war-torn aesthetic. Reminds me of The Last of Us in a lot of ways with how the world looks. I just want games that are outside of the norm, you know? I don't want, like, just futuristic games to be futuristic, you know? So, Advanced Warfare, I wouldn't get really hyped for an Advanced Warfare 2, even though I loved Advanced Warfare. And Infinite Warfare, it's in space, so that's kind of different. So I feel like I'm definitely going to like that game's campaign. But Black Ops 3, if it wasn't for that whole mind games thing, I might not have liked it as much. But I love the Black Ops aesthetic. I love that, the concept of Black Ops. So I think I would have liked it either way. But yes, I don't want Modern Warfare style games, and I don't want World War II style games. But I know an opportunity when I see one, and I think Ghosts definitely deserves a lot more of a chance in terms of its concept. I think its concept was brilliant. I love the characters in this game. They're not too memorable, but I feel like if they're more fleshed out, they could become great. Rourke, more fleshed out, could be great. The Makarov idea that I said earlier could embellish that. Hesh could be a great character, and I'm going to be honest, I know I didn't mention this at all, but Logan Walker should definitely have a voice actor as well. But Hesh and Logan, they wouldn't be in my ideal Modern Warfare 3. They would be in the next game. But you could have an Easter egg of them two as kids being taken care of by Elias in a scene before the end of Modern Warfare 3. I don't know. I just think I think it's a sick idea. But so if hopefully they Infinity Ward do that, or do a similar idea where they can branch off of Modern Warfare, because like I said earlier, nobody wants Infinity Ward to have an identity crisis again and we end up with a multiplayer like Infinite Warfare, or a very messy, convoluted story like the original Ghosts. As much as I love that campaign, the story makes no fucking sense. I don't know. That's my last tangent over. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out the channel if you are new. And yes, I will see you all in the next video, which I don't know what I'm doing, but maybe I'll do a ghost stream. Maybe not. I've just reinstalled the original Modern Warfare, so maybe we'll do a video actually playing the multiplayer, because I forgot to do that before I deleted that game last time. But I have it back now. So yeah, stay tuned for that. A lot more Call of Duty content is coming from this channel this year, but I can't guarantee the new Modern Warfare stuff. I can guarantee Infinite Warfare content, Ghost content, Black Ops 3 content, and Black Ops Cold War content by the end of the year. So yeah, if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, I will see you all next time. Cheers for watching. Peace!